Hello, everyone, and thank you so much for joining us for another edition of Reporter's Notebook. For those of you who've never watched Reporter's Notebook before, it's one of my personal favorite segments where sort of towards the end of our days, we get to bring in some coworkers in here to the digital studio and sit down and chit-chat about the stories that they covered today, dive a little deeper into what it's like to work at a newsroom, what it's like to work here at WNCT. So today I am joined by Miss Madison Forsey. Hello.
Hello, how are you?
I'm doing great. You look so summery in your dress. I'm loving it. It's the perfect for the weather.
Yes. I feel summery. It's really bringing the whole vibe together.
I love it. This weather today has been just gorgeous. I am like gobsmacked. I ate my lunch outside. It was amazing. It was a good time. So you got to actually spend a little bit outside today. You got to do a little traveling. And this is a big deal, the story you covered today, what's going on. So talk to us about what's going on here in Eastern North Carolina.
Yeah, so obviously there's a push everywhere to get people vaccinated, right? But here, especially in Greenville, there's a very large portion of the population that is made up of ECU students. So people that go to ECU, they live on campus, they might live off campus. That population obviously fluctuates. They went home when COVID hit them hard and ECU closed for a while, but they're back and they have been back for a good chunk of time now. But as the push to get everyone else vaccinated continues, and now that North Carolina is opening up vaccinations isn't that today that they're opening up vaccinations?
16 and up. Yep.
16 and up. Okay, I didn't want to get that wrong. So now that is in play, the college is really wanting students to get vaccinated. Awesome. So they have 3,000 doses of the J&J vaccine.
Wow.
We all know that that's a hot commodity because it's much easier to get one shot than get your shot, wait a couple weeks, go back and get another one. So they are trying to vaccinate and use up all 3,000 of those doses on not just students and faculty and staff, but like if a student wants to bring a friend that's not an ECU student, or a mom or a dad or a grandma or grandpa or somebody that still wants the vaccine, they can bring them along too. So it's kind of like a push to not just get the student vaccinated, but also to get the people that surround them vaccinated too.
That's so awesome. And where are they going to be holding this clinic? How long is it going to be going on for?
Yeah, so it's kind of a week-long effort. The first 2 days of this week were centered at the Greenville Convention Center. That's Biden's big hub for vaccinating. But the rest of this week, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, is all at Minges Coliseum. So it's in an iconic place. The students know it. People in this community know it. But you can go there. You don't have to make an appointment, but they encourage you to make an appointment. It just makes it a little bit easier for you, less time you have to wait. But you can walk in anytime and get the J&J.
Definitely. And I did read from reading up on this earlier that they do, encourage, of course, an appointment, but one is not required. You can just walk in and get your vaccine if you want to, which is awesome, especially for, students who have a crazy schedule. I'm sure that is just super helpful to have that so open for them.
I know. And it's crazy that we've come this far, too, from the very beginning, where it was like, this vaccine is coming.
Yes.
It's a very small portion. Only the most high risk, people that work in the medical field can get this vaccine. And now it's almost like, local people are like,
where
hey,
did these past couple months go? It's flown by, and now we are in the time period where everyone is able to start getting vaccinated and on our way to, just a healthier society.
There was something different about my day today, and I had a friend with me today. So a special guest, if you will. His name is Robert Romero. He's a producer at WNCT, and he was shadowing me for the day because the reporters and producers work together a lot, but we don't fully understand what the other person does, because a lot of times reporters leave for the day and we do all of our work outside of the studio, and our producers stay here and put together the show and work hard in the building. So we're kind of trying to cross those lines, get everyone together. So I'm going to move out of the chair and let Robert come in and finish up this little reporter's notebook.
Yes, we're going to do a little switcheroo.
Switcheroo, there we go.
Thank you so much, Madison. Come on in here, Robert.
Here I come.
Hello.
Out of nowhere.
Take your mask off. Sit down. How are you doing today?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing good. So as Madison said, Robert here is one of our producers here at WNCT. You might have seen him. He's done Reporter's Notebook before. You might recognize his face. But so, like Madison said, we're kind of trying to integrate, kind of trying to just understand the job each other does every single day, because it'll make us all work better as a newsroom, as a whole functioning group. So, Robert, what did you get to do today?
Well, I got to see how reporters put together stories stories, and it makes me think twice before yelling at them when things are late, because I now kind of understand how the process, what it takes to go into making a story. And it was really cool because I'm a former ECU alum, just as you are.
Pirate.
So it was really cool seeing a story being done at ECU about it. And it was really cool seeing how, just put things in perspective and how stories are made. Yeah. And it was really cool for me as a producer to see what's the amount of work that goes into each one's story. Now, this is just, it takes all day to make a story like this, and I have multiple stories like that in my show. So seeing the amount of time and effort that goes into this kind of stuff really puts me into perspective of what I do and the kind of content that I'm playing with in my show. And even just as a former ECU alum or graduate, it's really cool seeing ECU do this kind of thing to help its community, because we both know how ECU is and how upsetting it must be for students who are at least starting out that have to be limited to what the normal college experience should be. So it's just puts a lot of things in perspective today.
Definitely. And today, because like Madison said, normally producers, you guys are in here in the building all day on the computer, working out those shows, making sure they're all stacked the way you guys want them to be. So today you actually went outside of the studio, went out on the scene and did interviews. You guys got to do like some video footage. So how was it just being outside of the studio today and doing something different?
Well, the weather was nice, so that was number one. But it was really cool seeing the different perspectives from the people themselves that interview, because we see the small clips that are on air, but we're out in the field, you're kind of getting to know somebody a little bit. They're like just even the small talk in between. Like I found out one of the interviewers went to the same high school I went to, which the chances of that are just puts things in perspective of a small world. But just seeing that and just kind of to just get to know where things are coming from in different people's perspectives on certain things, how much that influences a story and where it can go, just that was really cool to see.
That's so awesome. Well, thank you, Robert, for taking the time real quick to jump on in here and chat about how your day went. We thank you so much. I'm sure you still got a ton of work to do out there, but
yes, I get to see how the live shot actually is.
Yes.
So
really you guys they're about to be live, so you guys can check out the story on ECU vaccinations coming up. That'll be 5 and 6 WNCT. You can also check that out on our website as well. I'm gonna let these guys get back to work because I know I'm holding them up right now. But thank you so much, Robert. Thank you, Madison. If you want to pop back in the camera real quick.
I will pop back.
All right,
Yay. Thank you guys so much. And thank you guys for joining us for Reporter's Notebook. We will see you next time. Thanks so much.